Hey guys, and welcome back to A&J Education YouTube channel. This is Sunny, and in today's video, we're talking about what is a UCAS Personal Statement. So if you're looking to apply to UK universities for your undergraduate degree, keep watching. Let's go. Okay guys, so just a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so because you'll be able to keep up with all the latest videos on that we put on university admissions in the UK and America. And also do check out my newsletter that I send out every 3 weeks that has information on latest CV building opportunities that you can do sitting at home online. All right, let's dive into this. So UCAS Personal Statement. Well, first of all, UCAS Personal Statement is a 4,000 character essay that you need to produce as part of your UCAS application to UK universities for your undergraduate study. Now, the key thing to remember here is that it is a single essay that goes to all 5 or up to 5. You don't have to use all of your options, but most students do and apply to 5 universities for undergraduate programs. So one essay goes to all 5 universities, so it kind of has to work everywhere. So you can't just write in your personal statement, oh, I really love Imperial and this is my dream and this is where I want to be. No, it has to be generic in a sense that it can appeal to all universities. And on top of that, if you're applying to slightly different programs, so maybe you're applying to physics, to one university, you're applying to physics and philosophy. To another university, you're applying to material science in the third one. You know, that personal statement has to work for all of those subjects. Now, universities know that you may be applying for some degree combinations, especially if you're applying to slightly more exotic subjects, so that, you know, they're happy to tolerate it. But, for example, if you're applying for history at one university and then for medicine at another, it's not going to work. So your subjects, your personal statement has to work for all of your choices, and your choices have to be close enough for you to be able to write a coherent personal statement. So do bear that in mind. A key thing, another key thing many people forget is that it's 4,000 characters with spaces. So spaces count. So actually it's not that much word count. It's around a page and a quarter. And you also have a limit of 47 lines. So just depending on how you write, how you type, and sort of, exactly what the personal statement is, you may be within the 4,000 character limit, but above the 47 line limit. In fact, that often happens to my students. So just something you need to be aware of. But again, cutting is normally quite easy, so you can write more and then reduce from there. Okay, in terms of many students ask me, Sunny, when should I start thinking about my personal statement, how to write it? So you should start writing it around 8 to 12 months before applying to university. Now, as many of you who watch our YouTube channel will know, if you're applying to Oxford and Cambridge or medicine in the UK, your deadline is 15th of October in the year before, 15th of October in the year before you want to start your university. So if you're looking to start university in September 22, you need to submit this by 15th of October 2021. Now, if you're looking at all other universities, their deadline is normally 15th of January in the year when you're hoping to start university. So if you want to start in September 22, for all the other degrees, you apply by January 15th, 22. However, again, as many of you will already know, you should always try to apply earlier if your grades and your personal statement can be of good quality, because there is just less competition and higher chances of getting in. So you should always try and do that if the application can reach a good standard. So you should start writing your personal statement 8 to 12 months early. So, however, in terms of planning for what to go into the personal statement, for some of my most ambitious students who are aiming at the very top universities, they start around age 15. So that takes a couple years to think, okay, what sort of activities, what sort of extracurricular things I can put into my CV, what sort of reading, what sort of Olympiads, what sort of conferences, what sort of internships, work experience. And by the way, if you're listening to this thinking, well, I don't know anyone, I don't have any family contacts or any sort of way to get internships or all this experience, you're wrong. You don't actually need money to be able to demonstrate, build up your CV for the purposes of a personal statement. There are plenty of things you can do for free yourself. And I definitely recommend checking out my newsletter which every 3 weeks I deliver into your inbox, just information on what are the things that are available: conferences, workshops, seminars, internships, etc. So there is definitely stuff you can do. Even reading. Reading is a core thing that anyone can do. And reading, but not just listing books, but reading sort of analytically analyzing what you've read, what it made you think, and kind of where you went further with your curiosity is what matters. Now, next thing, personal statement really needs to be coordinated with your school reference. And this is only possible if you have a good relationship with your referee, and maybe they will be happy to read your personal statement and to kind of make notes of it, to reflect on some of the things you said. Some teachers will be happy for you to read your reference before it gets submitted, so you can suggest comments, or maybe they really like you and they think, well, here you go, take a look if there is anything inaccurate here or anything should be edited. Let them know. Normally teachers want to be supportive and want you to do well, but of course they only want to do that if you're a good student, you respect them, and you put in the effort. So if you're kind of messing around and then at the last minute requesting them, hey, please help with my UCAS reference, can I contribute to my reference, chances are the answer is going to be no. But if you've done everything by the book, you've followed all the advice we've been giving you, then often it's possible to liaise with your teacher, and maybe in your personal statement you don't quite have enough space to list all of your achievements and activities, and this is where the reference can come in. So you don't necessarily have to list the same things. They can be different, but they need to sort of go together, right? So if you're writing in your personal statement about your work outside of school, your reading, etc., it's great if your teacher can comment on all the activities you've been doing, how you're pushing yourself outside of the subject, how you're on top of your class. Everyone else is just doing the schoolwork, but you're really pushing yourself, going outside of your comfort zone and doing X, Y, Z during the holidays, evenings and weekends. That's a very strong statement. So if you're making a claim in your personal statement that's quite ballsy and bold, and if your UCAS referee can back it up, that's great. Equally, if you're writing about your academic passions and how good you are and all the things you've done, but your teacher reference is something like, well, performance has been mediocre, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I don't really know what he does outside of school. He only does sort of studies and not so well. Universities will have a question, right? Are you lying in your personal statement? Are you exaggerating your achievements? So everything kind of has to make sense and to add up. And again, if you start planning this early, it will, but just make sure you have it on your radar. Now, last but not least, lots of students ask, Sunny, how do I make my personal statement good? There will be a separate video, in fact, many videos on this channel about that, and so hence make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. But 3 key takeaways I'll give you today to make your personal statement as good as it can be. Number 1, every sentence counts, and read it as if you were an admissions officer. And if every sentence you read does not persuade the admissions officer to accept you, it should be cut out. So only includes sentences that have substance, that have weight, that can contribute to you getting admitted. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, show, don't tell. Don't tell on your personal statement, I'm passionate about mathematics and that's what I want to study. Use a construction like, at school, we have covered calculus. I found this 18th century mathematical concept really, really interesting and decided to read a book by John Smith. In his book, I learned about integration, which I later discovered was part of the year 13 syllabus, which I haven't covered, sort of second semester of year 13 syllabus, which I haven't covered yet. And I was interested I signed up for University of Warwick Physics Open Day, where I learned about applications of integration and differential equations in all sorts of, in physics, in aerospace, whatever. Now, that kind of thing demonstrates not just that you're interested, but that you're willing to go above and beyond other students and really pursue your passion. So don't just tell them, demonstrate your interest. And tip number 3, focus on academic passions. I know you may have been putting years into your grade, your violin, your football, your singing. That's all great. But in the UK, universities by and large do not care. So unless you're applying for a degree in violin, no one's going to care about your grade 8 violin. So you should focus the personal statement on academic things that you've done, and do not try and dilute it with all the extracurriculars If you have them, that's great, but the universities are interested in your academic potential, your passion for the subject, your curiosity, not the extracurricular activities unrelated to your degree that you pursue in your spare time. Hope this was useful. Guys, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Check out my newsletter and let me know below about how your personal statements go. Take it easy. Bye-bye.